Good morning, boys and girls. Joe back with some books. But I did not come alone. I brought Mrs. Sawyer. Wow. Because Mrs. Sawyer has been upset that she hasn't got to recommend any books. So, Mrs. Sawyer actually recommends today 3 stories you can read to your cat. So, I'm going to read one story to my cat, Mrs. Sawyer. After we get through reading our first story. Our first story is not about a cat. Our first story is about a tree. It's called Be a Tree. And this story is written by Maria Gianferrari. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Do you ever come across words you can't pronounce? It's okay. I'm not for sure if I'm pronouncing it right. Fine. And that's all that counts. I think it's Gianferrari. And it's illustrated by Felicita Sela. The reason why I chose this book is because I liked its cover. A lot of times whenever I look for books, I look at the cover of them, and if the cover are really interesting, I'll get that book. This one I liked because I liked trees. And whenever I was a little boy, I really liked to climb in trees. The house that I lived in used to have a bunch of trees in the backyard. Sometimes I would climb up into the trees and read books. And this kind of reminded me of this book. I thought, oh, those kids are having fun. I wonder what that book is about. Let's read it. Let's see what it's about. And oh, this is what the inside of it looks like. Look, it's a bunch of different types of leaves. And oh, check this out. This is cool. So this little boy looks like he's putting a seed in the ground, and then the seed grows into a little, and then the leaf grows into a little sapling, and the sapling grows into a tiny tree, and then it grows into a bigger tree. Be a tree. Stand tall. Stretch your branches to the sun. He's stretching his branches. Let your roots curl. Coil in the soil. I like that. Coil in the soil to ground you. There's a bunch of different roots. Here's a girl. Look at her. She has a friend that's a snail. Your spine is a trunk, giving you shape. Holding your crown, channeling your food. Your skin is bark, dead on the outside, protecting what's within. Look at this picture. Look really close. You see here's a big old tree, and somebody has carved a heart in it with an arrow going through. And look, this old man right here, he has a tattoo that looks the same. So it's like he's a tree and his skin is like bark, and they're the same. They both have the same thing on them. Beneath your bark are layers, such as sapwood, carrying nutrients to help you grow bigger and taller, and heartwood, strong as bone, to help you. Look at that tree. That tree is huge. Look at how big it was. Look. Look, there's a person See how small this person is next to that tree? There's some trees that are really this big. Like in Washington State, they have trees that are huge. I've never seen a tree that big. Now I want to see them. In your heart's center is your pith, keeping of nutrients when you're a sapling. High above, your crown may be round, weeping, pyramidal, broad. Let it spread, shine red, collecting sun, filtering dust, shading your roots on a hot day. Some of this book rhymes, and some of it doesn't. Some of them are kind of rhymey, just like a poem, just like what we were talking about last month. But some of them don't. Wave your leaves in the wind. Breathe. Drink in sun. Let them fuel you and the world. Yeah, this is interesting. Breathe in air. You can breathe in air. And they say drink in sun. Well, that's kind of weird. You can't drink the sun. The sun is there. What does that mean? When you drink in the sun, it's just a phrase meaning that you enjoy the sun. That you sit back and you let the sun hit your face. You let the sun hit your arms. If you're wearing shorts, the sun might hit your legs. You're just one with the sun. You're feeling it. My little dog at home loves to do this. She loves to go outside and she loves to just sit in the sun and just feel the sun. She likes to drink in the sun. See yourself, branches and leaves above, roots below, trunk in between. You are a tree. Look, here are all these kids having fun on the tree. Climbing the tree with their rope. And look, here's a kid. He's sitting on a bench. And he has a little red balloon. And now, look around you. You are not alone. You are one of many trees. Did you hear that? It's thunder. Yes, it's thunder. It's bad weather today. It's different weather today. It's kind of rainy outside. We'll talk about that in a minute. Our roots twine with fungi, joining all trees, forest together. We talk, share food, store water, divide resources, alert each other of danger. Look at this. So there are all of these trees. And below all of these trees are the trees' roots. They go into the ground. And then there are all of these fungi. So there are all of these little streams of plants that join in together. Scientists now think that trees have a special way that they talk to each other. It's not like a person talks to each other, but they can send messages to each other. That's what this is talking about. That's pretty interesting. I never thought about that before. It's pretty that whenever I was a kid, I thought, oh, a tree is a tree. I didn't think that they could communicate with each other. And now I know. It's pretty cool. It's pretty different. A wood wide web of information. That's pretty cool. We purify the air. We anchor the soil, preventing erosion. Our dome of joined crowns swings and straightens, slowing high winds. So when you're in a forest, whenever you're in an area with lots of trees, it kind of feels like the trees are like a roof. They're like a big dome. And the trees give us oxygen. The trees, plants give us oxygen. That's what they're talking about there. And also, they anchor themselves down into the soil. So we saw on the previous page where there are these roots. They keep the soil from moving. If the tree wasn't there, the wind might blow the soil away, or if it rained, it could move around. But if there's trees, the soil will stay in one spot. Our bodies and branches and roots are home to birds, mammals, and insects. We sustain ecosystems. An ecosystem is just a fancy word for a life in an area. It's an ecosystem. It has food for the animals. It has a bunch of different animals. It has shelter for the animals. And we're on my favorite page. Here we go. Immigrant trees away from their native habitats are vulnerable. An immigrant tree is just a tree that somebody has planted somewhere that didn't originally come from that area. So you could live in a place where there were no apple trees, but you could plant an apple tree. That would be an immigrant tree. And look at this right here. Look. Watch this. Look. Pretty cool, huh? Here, let's see what it says. So there's this really big, cool picture. It says, but together, a forest of trees is strong. Yes, a forest of trees is much stronger than just one tree hanging out. And people are like that too. Mother trees nurse young trees. Old trees shade new trees. Strong trees shelter weak trees. Healthy trees help sick trees. Like people. And here, let's look at that picture again. Cool stuff that's going on. See, here's a family right here. There's a little kid. It looks like he's feeding the birds. Right there. And my favorite part about this is this right here. With all the little kids who are just playing in the trees. Because I used to like to play in trees. The tree almost becomes your friend whenever you play in the tree. And I like to think that the tree likes to have kids playing in it. A family, a community, a country, a cosmos. There's enough for all. Look at that. Look at all the different types of trees. So, be a tree, for together we are a forest. I like that. I like that. And look, it's a forest of people. There's all sorts of different types of people. I like her hair. Yeah, this is nice. It's a cool picture. And that is the end. Awesome. I hope you liked the book. Since we read a book about trees, Miss Peggy, she did a tree craft for us. Here, let's check it out. Good, huh? So what she did is she just took a piece of cardstock and she cut out a piece of construction paper shape of a tree, and then she added some little lines to make it look a little bit more like a tree. And then what she did is she got some green tissue paper and she made the green tissue paper into leaves on it. And this is nice because I can go like this and you can feel the leaves. The leaves kind of stick up. It's really different. Cool. And she also made a swing in the tree. I like that. She did a really good job with this. This is super easy. You could make one of these. Cool. And next time, I'm going to be reading 2 new books. I'm going to be reading A Tale of Two Beasts. And I'm also going to be reading a book called The Suitcase. I think you're going to like these books. Cool. Now, yes, we're getting to you. Mrs. Sawyer wanted to make sure you forget about her book. So we're going to be reading one of the 3 stories you can read to a cat. And we're going to be reading the first story out of this. The first story is called The Rainy Day. And today is a rainy day, so it's a perfect day to read the story. Don't you think so, Mrs.? She said it was perfect. I like Mrs. Sawyer. She even wears her little mask. She likes it when you pet her ear. Cool, let's get to going, Mrs. Sawyer. So, this is the very first story called The Rainy Day. And oh, picture has a bunch of cats. It has some rain on it. Yeah. Do you have a cat at home? What color is your cat? I have a black cat. One day. So this is a story that you read to the cat. And so whenever you say the word you, you're talking to the cat. So whenever I say you, Mrs. Sawyer knows I'm talking to her. One day, you woke up early. You were ready for fun. You jumped up on the windowsill. Phooey! You said, it's raining. This is no good. The rain did not stop. There was nothing you could do. I think this kitty cat was ready to go outside and play, but it's raining. You curled up on the couch and went back to sleep. After a while, you woke up. It was raining still. This is terrible, you said. What am I gonna do all day long? You sat down and gave yourself a bath. Cats love to give themselves baths. You licked and licked and licked and licked. You cleaned your ears, you cleaned your tails, you even cleaned between your toes. Finally, there was to clean. You jumped back on the windowsill. Rats, you said. It is still raining. You jumped back down. I like the cat looks very disappointed. The cat's like, oh no. You went to sit near the dining table. Maybe some food will fall, you said to yourself. Sometimes food does do that. Does your cat like to get next to the table whenever you're eating and just sit there and wait? Or does your dog do that? Whenever you're eating, does your dog give you the look? Does your dog just sit there and stare at you? Waiting for you to drop something. Gives you the stare down. Ooh, listen. Yes, it is a rainy day. But nothing fell. And nothing fell. So you gave up. You jumped back on the windowsill. it was raining still. I've had enough of this rain, you said. I will make it stop. You crouched on the sill. Closed your eyes really tight. You sent loud thoughts at the rain. A loud thought. That's funny. You sent loud thoughts at the rain. Stop, rain. You thought very, very loudly. Stop, rain. Stop, rain. Stop, rain. Cat thinking very loud. You did it 100 times. At last, you opened your eyes. The rain had stopped. I'm an amazing cat, you said to yourself. You ran to the door. Out! Out now! Out! Now! No, 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 no. But it's a cat. Remember, the cat probably sounds like meow, 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 meow. What do you think? Would you sound like that? She said yes. Meow. Oh, said your friend. Do you want to go outside? What a stupid question, you said to yourself. The door opened. Look, said your friend. The rain has stopped. Yes. You thought really loudly and the rain stopped. I know, you said. And you out into the sunshine. I like this picture. This is my favorite picture in the book. It's like, I know. But whenever cats do it, cats have a certain way that they look. Just like people. Sometimes cats even have more expression on their faces than people. Hey there, you nice kitty. Would you like some more stories? Here's another one for you. But, Sawyer, you are going to have to wait till another day. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. I'll tell you another story. She likes that. So, another day, whenever it's nice and rainy, we might tell Mrs. Sawyer another this book. There's 3 stories you can read your cat, and we only read one of them. Cool. So that's the end of story time today. Thank you for joining me, and please join me next time on Friday, whenever I'll be reading 2 new stories. I'll be reading The Suitcase. I'll also be reading A Tale of 2 Beasts. I think you're going to like these. Cool. So once again, thank you very much for joining me. Try to stay inside. Try to keep from getting wet. And if it looks like it's raining, and you want the rain to stop, maybe go to the window and look at the rain and say it loudly. Don't say it loudly. Think loudly. Rain, stop. Rain, stop. Rain, stop. Maybe it might work. Or maybe not. Maybe you have to be a cat for it to work. I don't know. Cool. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. And remember, just keep reading. Bye.